Go ahead and do this video. This is some fucked up ass shit. After I mentioned the name of that girl's soul consciousness, I got a Renee Wellinger. They moved it in the spirit plane. And me and one of my little spirit guides on my spirit team tried to find it and procure it. And I think we did last night. You know, you can use 3002 hertz, combine as many zeros at the end of the beginning as possible. Be careful because from what I'm my road spirits, the Rothschild, well, really the Windsors, Mountbatten and all of that. I saw Prince Andrew here. Me and my dad's higher self was my connection to God. When he was junior, which is a problem. Acting as my connection to God. In that August 22nd, 2022 timeline, he's acting as the higher selves, as our higher selves. They've done something where they fuck with them road spirits to make it hard to try to control my consciousness. And from what I understand, they intercepting, well, taking over my father, you know, keeping him stuck in hell realms through Jacob Rothschild here. Have set it up so that I can't get my shit back. I can't get my soul consciousness back. They took over, they got rid of my mother. I think they took her out of existence. You can use 3517 hertz combined with 1115 hertz or 3517 hertz. Same thing for my dad, my mom, Linda William, to try to help, you know, find them in the spirit plane. This girl's people are alive and all of that after killing my fucking parents. This Ashley Terrell, I got a Prejean. I got another name too, I can't really recall. But that timeline is real, and I started coming to tears. I could barely cry. It was mad hard for me to cry. I mean, it was so bad I had Atlas aliens helping out. But not fully. But they were helping because they saw how fucked up the situation was. But spirit ones. But anyways, with that being said, from what I understand, they took control of my dad. And the girl started getting rid of all my entity attachments right after I made that video yesterday about the Illuminati using 30 Eye Atlas to kill me or something, or to kill me off, and me having a nightmare about them cutting me up. They actually did that in the middle of the night in the spirit plane, in my body and all of that shit after taking over my consciousness. And I have one little child spirit guy that I think they killed, I don't know, that they're trying to stave off. But anyways, I saw in the spirit plane that she destroyed a lot of my entity attachments to keep me from getting back my soul consciousness. And I felt the difference. If I didn't wake up in the middle of the night and start working with my child spirit guide, I would have really been fucked. I wouldn't have been able to get my memories, all of those things that are intricate to you, that make you you. I know that timeline for a fact is real. Because when she took my soul consciousness, and I felt it when it happened, you know, we were teetered. And I don't know what they've done with it. I heard connected to a consciousness. I'm not really sure. I know she hails from Destrehan, Louisiana, or Chapel Bay. I even saw through my third eye motorboats, which I saw right before I was made to leave Malibu, right before all of this transpired. anyways, with that being said, your soul consciousness is like blood to your body. It's not only a record of your life, it's who you are. It contains it's your lifeblood. Without it, you die. I'm just gonna say that. That's why that Cassandra Nunez the third had, 874 had been at 874 had been hammering away at my soul consciousness, trying to kill it all, give it to that girl in that timeline. I think she kept getting out a couple of times from that spaceship. She was on board, but she was trying to help me out to go to show you how cool, Hispanic Mexican people can be. Downhearted, good people. There was one. Prior incarnation. But anyways, to make a long story short, I've just been playing frequencies all day to try to get my shit back. I felt my memories very vivid. My life, knowledge of self start to slip away. So I woke up in the middle of the night, started playing 3517 hertz, as in the beginning possible. 3002 hertz, 3000 hertz is another good one, but I wasn't playing that. I was playing 3002 and the other one. I thought about 295 and 295 combined with 695 hertz, but and also yesterday I tried to get rid of them using 1248 hertz, the Illuminati. But anyways, with that being said, I'm not really sure as to what the fuck is going on, I can't tell or ascertain if I got my shit back. I just went rawhide, tried to get that bitch a spirit that's operating in my body. Now it's cloned. My Ten of Cups happiness right here, which is funny. I'm I heard my dad's it's covered. They keep torturing the shit out of my parents. They have them in Jacob Rothschild's consciousness because of my relations to ISIS. They want to cover the Egyptian gods, whatchamacallit, so that they could, some about completely, taking us over, killing us off, and giving my Hecate to Zendaya or something to kill us off or some shit like that. It goes back to that August 22nd, 2022 timeline. Anyways, I wish I could have done fucking more. But anyways, Jacob Rothschild got my people in his consciousness. See, my dad, I heard on his side, is also related to Mansa Musa, who, with a lot of prolific people, I got Braveheart, who in the spirit plane helped out John Smith, the Mayflower, and all of that. I'm related to some pretty prominent motherfucking people. I didn't even know it. A lot of white people, a lot of black people. On my 23andMe, I got 33, I think, percent British DNA, straight up English. Not no Irish people, English. And they supposed to have some type of relationship with Kemet. That's why they dark hair. They talk about the evolutionary thing, and you would think that in colder climates, motherfuckers would have blue eyes and blonde hair like the Nordics do, who look a lot like Africans, but in white face when you look at them. And I heard that they have a lot of our soul consciousness. They're a lot like us. That's why they're very welcoming, warm people. They're a lot like indigenous Africans. With that being said, the reason why the Britons look the way they do, when you look at them on the surface, they are very dark, swarthy people like Mr. Bean. He looked like he could pass for a motherfucking Arab, a commission. The reason why they look that way is because they were exiled from Kemet. Those are, like fucking rejects from ancient Kemet. They would teleport them out their society and all that, kick them out if they had a problem. So that's why, the British people, that's why the Illuminati located up in that motherfucker. That's why if you look at Queen Elizabeth, she looked black. Tyler, the Creator. That's why they look the way they do. I even heard that Prince Andrew, who was the most vicious towards my brother, cut him up and everything. That's supposed to be my higher self. You can check the Akashic records and all of that shit. Here's some more pointers to check out. The Akashic records. I heard I got a Huntington or something, or it was something else. I don't believe it's Huntington. From his past life. He was black, born in Chicago, and he was supposed to be related to me in his past life. He was a Fajay. I love them people. I ain't got nothing against LGBTQ people. I'm just trying to get back to the way I don't want to say satirical, but just the way I used to be, but I can't. I can't given these facts. That's why I do these videos, these vlogs. It's because it's too much, and I've been trying, but my consciousness is fucked up. It's broken, especially with Cassandra Nunez. If I try to do something, I don't know if she'll pull out entity attachment, fuck up something. I don't know, and with this shit here, it's just constant incursions in my shit. Consciousness, with these motherfuckers being the latest, from what I understand, they plan on killing me off, and I think they got permission from the demiurge. I hope and pray not. I've been having motherfuckers try to stab that shit off as much as possible, and from unlikely sources you don't see coming. Talk shit about all of them back in the day. With that being said, they picked him because of his relation to Hike or some shit like that. When I heard the Queen, there was a soul tie with me and her in my old. It started with the original Hike. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is true. I don't know. And I heard they're going to try to shut shit down from you seeing shit in the spirit plane. You 694-695 hertz. See, I feel like I'm somebody with a lot of fucking potential who's being fed on, who could do a lot of things. I'm being fed on by mediocre ass motherfuckers taken from me, who ain't nothing like me, who ain't interesting like me, who are using what is my basic attributes. And it's going to culminate to the point where they're going to take my fucking shit. I heard in a couple of fucking days. That's why I've been doing these videos. Who are thriving. Like that girl in that timeline from Destrehan or Chafalaya Bay. I saw her one time when I stayed at the First to Serve shelter. I saw her in a brief vision, very analogous to what I saw in that film. One of my most auspicious films. Is funny. My apartment number is 408, just like this film here, one of my favorites by John Cusack, who was one of my favorite actors. Kevin Spacey was another. I just like the way they act and conduct themselves. Very smooth. The whole thing about him being homeless is it's just the astral plane, spirit plane. But anyways, with that being said, room 1408, I saw her, and just like I heard described, she looked like Mama June. Thing, and they've been using my soul consciousness to cover her. As a matter of fact, in the spirit plane, she looks like this, where they have her back turned, and now they show her face. Because from what people, I heard in the spirit plane understand, the higher selves are originally white. white with blonde hair and green eyes. And harkens back to a Swedish past life, I believe. And to a couple of, a lot of past lives where I was British. A lot of them I was British. I couldn't believe it. That's what I learned from this. A lot of them I was British. Same thing with my poor dad. And his Mexican past life ancestors, they all incarnated as black. They say they wouldn't have it any other way. We happy to be black. Woo, woo. They like how they were, back then too. But they got tired of the shouting and all that shit, With that being said, from what I understand, my consciousness is so fucked up, it's fraying, and it's getting dangerous. It may not show, and it's cry for help, but it's dangerous. And the shit is real, when them road spirits were telling me, oh, roach aliens gonna come for your ass, they're here to abduct you for the Illuminati, to kill you off, keep you from getting back in that timeline, as well as, give all your shit to Zendaya, Coleman, and all that, to do that whole Beast, the Book of Revelation shit, all that He-K shit and all of that by stealing my E-K. Lo and behold, I hear something, I know where I'm at. I woke up this morning and saw nothing but fucking brown buildings. It was surreal. I felt like I was in an alien landscape. I didn't see what I usually see, which is these buildings here. I saw like straight up brick buildings for like a brief second. So I ain't, from what I learned in my body, in my consciousness, you can use 1.75 million hertz. 1.7 million to return somebody back to their body, but you have to just put the zeros in the back. I don't think you can add any more zeros. You may be able to, I don't know. Don't work like the other numbers. Let's see if you enhance them. Anyways, with that being said, it's just been trouble. I heard I'm on board that spaceship, and it looked straight up alien what I saw. I saw nothing but fucking brick buildings. It didn't look anything like what I usually see. And I saw that for a fucking couple of fucking, I want to say a whole minute. I didn't see the mountains. I didn't see a lot of shit. I'm like, where the fuck am I at? I'm like, I'm going through all this shit. I got confirmation, it killed me when I heard them say that they pretty much threw away my memory, everything that I am, by getting rid of my soul consciousness, my original soul consciousness, and what is my body was a memory. Memories of the PCH, that's where it stopped. Fooling around, just doing stupid shit, enjoying my life, being who I am. All that ended, the great relationship I had with my dad. All that ended. He was no longer my God in my soul consciousness. That had ceased, and that bitch had placed a roach attachment version. I heard she got black card from the Illuminati, and she had been sending money to her people. That's bad. Anytime aliens sent to kill you by the Illuminati and 3-eyed Atlas motherfuckers feel sorry for you. That's pretty fucked up. And they're very compassionate roaches, by the way. They just like how humans see them and created them. So I don't know. Learned it during this curve. We got roach runs. We all do. That killed me to see that my life and memories are a distant memory. And that this shit is true, and that my parents ain't alive. That's just traumatizing. And I don't really fucking cry, man, but when you're dealing with shit like that, you feel helpless. Even if you got great powers and you can do something like that, where you all torn from within and you being fucked with it, you hear about that, and it's this whole psychic shit reality where you gotta jump in. On the first day that happened, when I woke up, I couldn't believe it. I wish I would have went in a different direction. So, but them roach spirits go in a different direction, and I just I wish God would have gave me more of a fucking chance, so it just wasn't one opportunity. There's always variables in life, and you can always take different turns and make your way, but that's not altogether true. And that killed me to know that my parents are dead and that this is reality. I ain't living in reality, the reality I used to know. I'm dead. I ain't in my body, and now I'm being harassed by fucking gigantic 10, 17-foot roaches from outer space. Some of them who feel sorry. And they did something yesterday where on board, they allowed Prince Andrew and them, the Rothschilds and all of that, to partake in my soul consciousness. And, I waited late to do a video because I was trying hard to get it back. That's a very depressing and abysmal reality to know everything that is you ended. And you in some far off ass timeline where to get through. They protected by some this shit is nice to me, man, but some really high, there's some evil motherfuckers, what I've heard. It's business to kill. I heard with the Rothschilds, you can't even be human if you want to reincarnate in their family. That's just some monstrous motherfuckers. Uncompassionate, uncaring. I heard that the Rothschilds were actually most compassionate. It was one of their ISLs, reptilians, that actually tried to help at one point. So I say Jews ain't all that bad, but they are. They had them crackers fuck me up. But to know everything, been taking Baron Samity's power, the Windsors and all that. To know that everything that makes you you is gone kills me. That fucks me up, and that fucks with me. Girl go by certain aliases. Ashley Hampstead. You can get rid of a curse, but something like this, man. I mean, since 2022, August 22nd, 2022, it's just been constant trauma. I look at my brother and I know that shit happened. I looked at his Twitch page and it's just, it ain't normal. And he's the one that, such an innocent kid, and he, Alex Nascimento, came under the terrible fucking alcohol and drinking and drug curse. And I was seeing through this bitch's eyes. She sees from astral eyes, astral vision. So you ladies like these Rothschildians are trying to set it up. Rothschilds, they don't see. She don't. I was seeing through her vision. I can't reconcile that reality. My parents, my people were good people. My dad was described as family man. Family man is in the spirit plane. Family man. Good, hardworking, respectable, but not high, respectable, funny black people. We had our moments. I had a great childhood. My brother was straight A student. How the fuck does this happen? I wish I would have fought hard. I wish I wouldn't have been in denial. I wish I wouldn't have been in denial. I'm in more than now, man. I'm in a lot of fucking pain. I know a lot of people probably laugh, but it's real. That timeline is real. I can't reconcile that shit. I'm in denial. I'm in denial. What happens to them pull the rose beers to help and console me? I'm to that point. All I had was entity attachments on my higher to higher selves. Anytime you have that, I had curses compounded on me for this. So I really didn't have much in the way of spiritual help. I just had a child. Aspect of myself. All I had, anytime you use the entity attachments of your higher to higher selves, archangels and shit, you ain't got no spiritual help. I guess they knew I would come up with a way to get rid of this shit, but it's going on too long. This girl done cloned herself. Rothschilds and all them really is the Windsors. I don't like them motherfuckers at all. They ate my body. I've heard Harry eating kids and shit. William, he'll eat them and talk about, why am I doing this? Same thing with, whatchamacallit. He'll look and say, Prince Charles is most sadistic. I knocked that buck teeth ass motherfucker in his goddamn, and I saw him in the spirit plane right in his motherfucking face. Faggot ass bitch. Nigga be fucking around with Comey and shit, fucking with him and looking like a Howdy Doody or some shit like that. I wanted to say a dude from Mad TV. He looked like that nigga. This whole thing is fucking depressing. And I didn't ask, I had them using the power of the demiurge or something to make soul contracts, to steal my soul consciousness without my consent in the middle of the fucking night. You gotta have a spirit team to deal with that. I can't I gotta sleep. I'm a human. We got sleep rhythm cycles, man, and I can't be. That's for your higher to higher selves. All I should have to do is just play my frequency, and we good. It shouldn't be no fucking. I'm depressed about the whole thing. Because I know it's true, and it's hard. You fucked up. Lord, water, and frankincense and myrrh. Fucked up consciousness. So I don't gonna know who I'm getting help from it. I'm at a breaking point. I heard the real spaceship is out there that they send it. Killing all motherfuckers I don't like bullies, man, and I don't like how I'm being bullied. I'm playing my little frequencies. I'm doing what I can. I ain't got a good spirit team. I got a down hard spirit team, but like I learned at the beginning of this, should have took advice I heard from my past life sweetest self and just done away with it. Her two higher selves consented to just giving away my shit, and I never signed a soul contract with them. So, the initial soul contract is it. And how they can supersede that and steal my shit is because I ain't got nobody that's respectable on my behalf to answer. I gotta wake up in the fucking morning for them to be able to do spirit work and shit. I ain't got time for that shit. That's for my fucking higher to higher selves and all that shit to handle. That's not for me to be fucking doing. All I should have to do, I hear from them weird motherfuckers all the time. Oh, this motherfucker is powerful. They higher to higher self came and we felt that's because they got working higher to higher selves. I had curses and shit put on me and all this bullshit. You can't do that. All them people do is they wear the frankincense and myrrh, the mirror. They wear the floor of the water. play frequency, and that's all you should have to fucking do. You know, the thing with Phantom Birthday was easy to fucking handle. This shit is, I feel like it's something. You know, I keep hearing that power. I don't want to hear that shit. It's something that's very simplistic to deal with that could have easily been averted if I had motherfuckers that were, I don't even want to say competent, but cared and gave a fuck. All this shit, you know, I'm kicking myself in the ass because I lived in denial, and I was like, is this true? That's why I went Sandra Nunez then, therapy. I wanted to get a second opinion, third, fourth, 15th opinion. Is shit true? Because that's a hard thing to deal with. That's a hard thing. You can't reconcile that reality. That's like somebody finding out they prematurely died, like that girl on the PCH. Look, I got 5 of Cups lost. Who they used to have little celebrations for years ago when I lived on the PCH. You hear about people who are your enemies, who shouldn't have came up on you. I heard the Roaches and 3i Atlas pissed about that. All of a sudden coming up and their parents are taking care of your parents in fucking hell realms and shit. These motherfuckers getting money off of you and they giving money and they ain't contributing not a motherfucking thing. 5 of Cups, got 10 of Cups. And the whole thing pisses me off. And I wish I would have done more. I wish there were times I would have frankincense and myrrh in Florida water. I was told last time I did it. In the Santa Birthday's hell realm, and I wish I would have. With this 3i Atlas thing, I'm hearing they gonna put half semi-tangible physical spiders from the astral plane on my ass to feed off of me, and then if that don't work, portals all around leading to Santa Birthday's realm all of a sudden, just like what I saw early this morning, kind of again. And I just feel helpless because I ain't got a really good spirit team to fucking help. You know, it's all this. You gotta wake up, gotta play the frequency, and then wait and torture the shit out of you so they can put you back. I ain't got time for that shit. You be like, you're lying in bed all day so we can reconstruct you and find some bitch. Y'all niggas. I'm about to play some Meltone to 777. I ain't got time to hear that shit. I ain't got time to deal with that shit. Had people inside, they had me living in the fuck. Got time for this shit, the world. Taking your power away. 446 hertz is a power retrieval, by the way. Like FEM guys would say. 195 hertz is using the power of your ancestors. I was using that the other day for this shit. And with that being said, you know, it's like what Tom Barron just said. If the machine breaks down, I saw that with my soul consciousness. When I got it back yesterday, I felt put together, coalesced. Consciousness felt better, everything. I felt like how I used to, and I started seeing things how I used to. I'm detached from it, and that means I ain't in my body. I remember the day when I got taken out, and I tried to place myself back in. That was depressing. You can't do things. I'm going to say it like this. When the machine break down, you break down. God source, we are greater than God, but situations like that, there's soul contracts, 12, 15 hertz could be used to break them. But you got to get consent from the person. I got all this shit going over my head because they know I ain't got no spiritual protection. Breaking soul contracts on my grown ass fucking behalf, even though I'm a grown ass 41, 42-year-old woman. And I'm just, and having me call out the shit that ain't visible, that's in the spirit plane, and, having to say shit loud, making me look schizophrenic. You can't function like that. It ain't feasible. You can't do shit that way. I had them like, they took, I heard the Illuminati took my spirit guides and all that shit early this morning, and I felt good, dealing with this other shit. Nah, hell no. No, that other shit need to kick fucking. I can't. Got 10 of cups. So 10 of cups again. We got forward movement and 10 of cups. 8 of wine. I felt good. And told my brother Kerry looked like a crack fiend. We could have done good if I would have made a certain decision. I fucked up, but I just didn't. I didn't see all the implications. My past life self, she was very, very smart. Required, you got to show me before I make a choice, a decision. But they don't show me clearly. They'll opaquely, whatchamacallit it. Like, I had two, beanbag, fuck, long time ago put something on me. Tried to come for my ass. And so what I did, in the spirit plane, when you rape somebody, you taking your power. Or they taking your power. So I raped them, beat them up and all that. And I thought I defeated them. Turns out I was still cursed because motherfucking controlling shit was blocking me from seeing what the fuck was going on. You gotta be careful of that shit. That shit real. It all led to this. And I didn't see it coming. It's just sad knowing the reality that I'm in, and I can do a lot better. That's why I do these videos. I'm pissed, knowing that that's a sad, far distant reality. My and my family's glory time. Our life. We ain't here. I'm stuck literally living in hell from what I understand, while my enemies fucking thrive off of me. Having entity attachments of what should be my archangel, spirit guides, and all of that. Maneuver around, making me feel every fucking thing that should be going on that should be within my body. Talking about we got to put you back together while we torment the fuck out of you to do it. I can't take it. I can't take it. I don't want to be aware of all that shit. I'm not supposed to be. That goes against how God set up shit, man. I mean, and even more. I'm going to have to get source involved in this shit. Demiurge involved. That's some fucked up shit. Egyptian source. I remember I called on them and Rothschilds didn't respect me. They're like, we ain't gotta respect you. They were like that with Mary Sammy, the Rothschilds, Illuminati. They didn't want to help him when he needed help one night, and they say, we ain't gotta respect you. We ain't gotta respect you. I ain't got time for this shit. I'm just gonna say it like this. Very depressing. These evil ass motherfuckers out of my head. Taking over ISL Stein. Great Jewish Ashkenazi grandmother and everything else. The Rothschilds kept putting themselves in their timeline. Adam Weishaupt, their timelines. She was being protected by them people. Schamberg's also got Habsburgs did not like the Illuminati at all. Saw them for what they were. Rothschilds and them who were formerly foreigners tried to come up on them. Rhodes Spears was saying derisively that they were farmers and shit. Under that. Some pretty high level but wicked shit around humanity. If only I had did something that day. If only I had done something. I also saw Schamberg's timeline helping them. That being said, man, I mean, I hadn't asked for none of this shit. If I would have seen this shit coming years ago, I would have done something about it. Remember them little Rothschild spirits were derisively talking about the Rothschilds, you know, speaking of the Habsburgs, Costin. Now, they're making fun of the fact that they were formerly farmers and shit. They came up through some really shit that controls us. Consent to rule your home planet. And evil shit that's not even indigenous to here, I believe. I'm not sure. The reptilians are. And they were the first Terrans. Heard about the horned ones being the originators of black. I don't know. I'm kicking myself in the ass if I just would have taken shit more seriously. Would have done more. And still can do more. I'm not completely dead. I saw this coming. Tried to move it. If I would have done more, I would be in a far better place. If I would have seen what was coming. Because this shit ain't no fucking joke. Shouldn't have went where I went. There was another option. Shouldn't have drunk while I was at the manor. And even now, some of these people saw Rothschild and then nothing but hell runs. That's depressing. It means I'm dead. Could have averted a lot of shit. And still can. Look at that Florida water, frankincense, and myrrh. I was almost died in my sleep a couple of days ago. After downing it. Could have had a happy life. Took charge. It's a hard reality to deal with. To know you died in your sleep. And you ain't here. Ain't in your body. You can never go back to celebrating like you used to with your family. I always say, concerned about where the niggas at in the afterlife, and shouldn't have been here. Dad was an oldie, was a good, hard-working, honest, very kind of, you used to always look out for the little homeless man, talk to him like he was a normal human being. He used to say, sex workers could be raped when my mother said they couldn't. So trapped in hell, getting cut up by the Illuminati and Jacob Rothschild's head. He tried to shut me down in the spirit plane for talking about that. Could have done something. We could have done something. And I'm still in the running. Like they say, you know, when you go to jail, they call it the race. That's how I saw it. The race. I'm still in the race. You know, I remember when I got out of jail, lost my van and was like, I lost my life. And I was given another option that could have led to great things. And just, it's the only chance I heard. Only shot. Should have went in that direction. Fucked up. Had enough money to get another van. Should have did that. Went back to the PCH. Had people who knew about this shit and it would have helped. I fucked up. Now I'm in the twilight of everything. Stuck, soul swap. I know it happened. And I'm depressed. People around here mad fucking nice. I want to go out and cavort. I can't do that shit. Good people. Either way I used to, I travel night, I can't do it. Where I'm living, my circumstances, my reality is not normal. Can't do it. Can't. I don't have the support like I used to. I had some really good spiritual protection from bare insanity. And I ain't got it like I used to. I don't have the support. Now everything else is leaving me to die. I got this right here. I work out. I need to get back to working out, not let this shit intimidate me. You know, just play my frequency, make the shit work. I'm depressed about the whole thing. This bitch is my body. Cloned and everything, but still. You get back in your body. That's a hard deal to reconcile, you know. Something can take you out. Some can go awry again, and you're made to feel like you gotta be totally cognizant. I wish I would have nipped this in the bud. It's like, it's analogous to being raped or something. Like that, it's the trauma. It happens, and it happened. You survived it. But it's your reality, and it's how you come back from that. You can't. I saw it through my third eye that day. Not that far from August 22nd, 2022 when it happened. Playing these frequencies because I ain't got much spiritual help did not affect it. Now I'm facing being energy harvested and being food for people who can just freely go about their life not knowing like shit like this exists really. You know, it's kind of like how I was towards Kanye West. Didn't they? Not nightmarish, but shadow-like reality where it's similar to mine, where you stuck in 2017. That's like the future for them. I'm supposed to be stuck in 2025, 2028. Where they at? Supposed to be on a spaceship, so we supposed to have surpassed light years. Must be 2050 for that girl. I don't even know if she's still around. You look like a blow-up doll in my fucking body. Her original, I think, soul consciousness, or her name was Ashley Hampton, the roaches were telling me. How do you reconcile that? How do you deal with that? How do you come to terms with that? You know, this didn't happen, and what you do? It's your reality. It's the sheer trauma that you're experiencing something like that. And you are now an experiencer of the fact that it exists. And there's no going back. There's no going back with this shit. You know it exists and it's traumatic. So it's almost like you capitulate, you give up, and it happened, and can't get over the trauma, especially that your parents are gone, and I felt that in my soul consciousness. Brothers, I saw it written on one of my soul consciousnesses. They're not with us. So, in the obstacle position, we got the King of Pentacles. And you got somebody that's going to vociferously block the living fuck out of you. To the point that present position, Three of Pentacles, kind of like what I'm dealing with. You have people that are gathered around the trough, wanting to suppress the fuck out of you. Six of Wands. You got people who love you and who will look out for you. You're not alone. Two of Swords, subconscious. You're surrounded, you're surrounded by a lot of enmity, a lot of antipathy, people who want to fucking pull you down. And you just ain't letting them. You got the moon up here and a lot of evil, wicked witchcraft shit. Page of Wands is the goals position. And you have people, I feel that some is telling you to just do what you know is right. Throw caution to the wind and take a chance, just like Duran would say in one of their videos. Save a prayer. Good energy. Call source. The Egyptian source. Nubis, Ra, Isis. That's that. The moon is the advice card. And that's to go, I don't want to say AWOL, but go Merc on a motherfucker. Mercenary on the motherfucker. I used to call Santa Muerte. Saint Merc. That was her. Saint Merc. Go mercenary on motherfuckers. Page of Cups is the energy that's all around you. And it's a lot of people feeding off of you, but I don't think they see what's coming. Seven of Swords is your fears and your hopes card. And I even saw it as the outcome yesterday. You're surrounded by a lot of deception. Knight of Swords is from a surprising source you don't see coming. Somebody that's going to help the living fuck out your ass. And you don't even see that nigga coming. With that being said, if you want a more personalized reading, it's fucking depressing. Please contact me at ravenbyterror22@yahoo.com. I'm sorry. Tired of this shit.